As far as the drought, that seems to be what everybody's talking about right now.
Huge
Now,
issue.
ironically, I don't know if people can see, but you have a couple of drips on you because it is actually.
Oh my God, yes.
It is. It's not sweat. It's not flop sweat, but it's raining, and people
Thank
are
God.
actually excited. And we are in the midst of. Well, tell us a little bit about the drought because we've done some stories on it. It's bad. I mean, it's really.
It's a
bad.
very bad drought. There's been very few years in the long history of measuring water in LA. It's been worse than this. We had a year that was 3.5 inches of about 1920 something, I think. I look back at the history of LA rainfall. This past year has been 7.5 inches before what we just got today. When I hear the news tonight, we'll know what it is. Maybe 7.75 or 8 inches. That's a very bad year.
Yeah.
Average, normal is 15 or 16 inches. So we have to do something. We've been wasting water by washing our cars out in the driveway. We're all guilty of it,
Yeah.
everybody. Growing these lush lawns or what have you in a Mediterranean ecosystem. You know, a semi-arid grassland is what this is technically, and it is very dry here. And the only reason LA has survived and had all these lawns and all this prosperity is because we got our straw dipped in somebody else's drink. A lot of the people along the Colorado River, like maybe, let's say Colorado, would like to, hold on to some of that water, and in Arizona and what have you, everybody wants a piece of it. And then the other one is the California aqueduct that takes water from the San Joaquin Delta. So those three legs to the stool are the only thing that keeps us from falling over. And if one of them gets a little wobbly, we're going to have real trouble.
Do you think people actually understand the severity of this?
No.
Because I just read a story this week that Ethos, which is the company that Starbucks gets
Right.
their
Yes.
bottled water from, they're moving out of California
Good.
now because there's not enough water here.
Good for them.
What do we have to do to actually get people to wake up? Because, it's one of those things where it's like it happens so slowly that people don't really realize, or they think, well, my lawn's all right, I'll still keep going with my
Right.
life. What do you do to kind of really slap people in the face with this?
I don't know that you can do any more than every water agency, every news broadcast, practically everybody, every newspaper is doing. The illusion is this right here. Hey, I want some water. Here we go. It's available. You turn on the tap and it comes out. So we think it's all going to last forever.
Yeah.
But we're near the end. We're heading towards a cliff now because what has recharged the aquifers, that they're going deeper and deeper with water bottling plants and agriculture. The solution to the problem is just go deeper and deeper. That's our bank account. You're draining your bank account to nothing. You get a paycheck at some point to replenish that bank account. There's no payday now because there's no Sierra snowpack. That's what we're up against. And people, I'm afraid, if we'd had this conversation a month ago, no, we're going to get to them. We're going to let them know somehow. And maybe we are, but I don't know what it's going to take. You can't let people know anymore. There's people in my neighborhood that still have these lush lawns. The sprinklers are on in the rain. In the rain, you come and you see the sprinklers on, which now is a violation, and it should be.
So I've been seeing these stories pop up on Gawker and some of these sites where they're trying to publicly shame some of these people. They listed a bunch of celebrities with big lush lawns. But isn't that just a tiny portion of it? Isn't this real, like the real usage is really from probably industrial stuff, right? And golf courses and things like that. Like the residential stuff, even though I guess it gets headlines, isn't that
Everybody's got to
right?
come to the party. Residential is part of it, but you're right, it's much smaller. The notion of growing rice and almonds on the western side of the San Joaquin Valley is just, I think it's just foolhardy. We had the illusion that it was going to be okay for years because we had excess. All these people that say, I've got a ticket in line for my water. It's the law. You can't take it from me. I'm an almond grower. I grow rice. I grow broccoli. I grow whatever. The people who grow broccoli and lettuce can go, well, okay, I'm not getting my allotment the way I used to. I'll leave it fallow for a year and get a state or federal tax credit for doing the good thing. But what do you do with an almond tree? You can't leave it fallow. These people have their ticket in line. All of these tickets in line for water in California are based on excess. Nearly all of them.
Yeah.
There's very few that aren't based on excess from the San Joaquin Delta. There's been no excess for years. It's this illusion that people in residential neighborhoods, people in agriculture, everybody thinks because they somehow turn on a tap and it comes
And
out.
it magically comes
and they
out.
point the finger at, environmentalists for doing, like causing this, like we're the ones doing it. That's like blaming the smoke detector company for the fire. We didn't start this fire. We're just trying to save whatever species we can. The San Joaquin, in the San Francisco Bay Delta, certain species of fish are like canaries in the coal mine. That's for all of us. You can't dry up all the water. You can't suck it dry and go, how did that happen? We know, we can see it coming.
What's the silver lining here? Is it that technology is going to save us? Is it going to be we're going to start rebuilding desalination plants? Is it that the conservation will work? Or have we crossed that threshold where even if we cut back, we're still behind the eight ball? What's the silver lining here?
desal should be the last thing on your list. That's when you're really, people are, standing in line like, Blade Runner kind of life, people are in real trouble, dying of thirst and what have you. So
is it not efficient? That's what people, right? It takes a lot of energy.
It takes a tremendous amount of energy,
you
have people go, well, all you got left is table salt. It's not quite table salt. Where do you put it? You can't really easily reintroduce it in the marine environment without hurting a lot of species, because it's such a concentration of salt and other minerals.
Yeah.
So there's a problem with that, and there's a lot of energy, but there's much cheaper ways. Let's just follow the money and the economy of it. If we collected our rainwater, really collected efficiently in two important ways, people doing it the way I did it for years, poor man's rainwater capture, saw off with the hacksaw your downspout, put a barrel under it, put it up on some blocks so you can get to the spigot at the bottom, and you're going to collect your rainwater for like $80 a barrel or whatever they charge for them now. You can get them online. I think they're $80 for a barrel. There's something like that. There are discount ones where people recycle old olive oil barrels or something. You can get those even cheaper. So do that, number one. Number two, people have more resources, which I do. I'm building a LEED platinum home. I put a 10,000 gallon rainwater tank underground, 10,000 gallons. That will surely take care of all my irrigation needs from the last rain in May to the first rain in October. That's the other one. And the most important one, to break up a lot of the way we've concretized, we've paved over places like LA, more permeable surfaces so the water can go down to the water table.
Well, that's exactly where I wanted to end the conversation about the drought, because that is exactly what we do here. We try to let you guys know that you can do something with the news. So not only the government's doing things, but there's things that you yourself can do. Anyway, what do you think? Is the drought as bad as it seems? Are you doing anything? Let us know in the comments right down below.